Shall we talk about Sony? The last two stories, and they're somewhat
Yes.
tangentially linked.
Okay.
So,
Sounds good.
the chief financial officer of Sony has been making some comments about certain things to do with the company.
Oh,
So,
okay.
two particular stories have come out as a result of this. So the CFO says the company will learn from its live service failures, but insists that progress
Oh.
has been made despite them.
Oh, goodness. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, so in a Q&A session following the company's latest financial results, one caller asked its panel of executives for an update on the current status of PlayStation's live service plan and where it sees the issue when it comes to improving its live service games. The CFO, Lin Tao, replied that despite the negativity surrounding Sony's live service offerings thanks to the issues with Concord and Marathon, she still believes live service games are worthwhile because they've added a revenue stream that doesn't exist for the company, that didn't exist 5 years ago.
There's a reason for that.
Quote, last year Concord shut down after 10 days.
Uh-huh.
Damn it, I wish I would have... I freaking forgot about this story. I should have brought my copy of Concord in.
Yes.
And this year Marathon was postponed, so somewhat negative news has been coming out, so Tao said, and this was done via an interpreter. But if we look at the last 5 years, 5 years ago live service games were almost non-existent for PlayStation Studios. We now have Helldivers 2, not a PlayStation studio, by the way.
Yeah.
Arrowhead is not a PlayStation studio. MLB The
Not
Show.
yet.
Oh my! How can you even say? I have issue. Sorry, I'm gonna pick this apart as I do it.
Okay.
Helldivers 2, not a first-party studio. They have not purchased them. Arrowhead are still doing their own thing. Sony just
Not being
paid for the
talked.
game to have
Yes.
exclusivity. It's now coming to Xbox anyway, which has now caused an absolute massive stir with the PlayStation fanboys because
Wow.
it was apparently Sony's wanting to go onto Xbox, not Arrowhead's.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, well, yeah.
MLB The Show, which actually PlayStation has no say over the MLB license,
Right.
so that can't technically count, even though it's made by PlayStation or Sony Studios or a PlayStation studio. And Gran Turismo 7, which should never have been a live service game in the first place.
Yep.
And Bungie's Destiny 2, which was never a Sony property.
No.
Now, because they own them, they're now claiming it as their own. Sorry, I'm
They
pretty
are.
sure
That's
it's
how
had
they
more
do.
revenue stream on bloody PC and Xbox anyway.
Yeah. They've lost money since they went to
Yeah.
Sony. That's a known thing.
So we have these. So this is back to the quote. We have these 4 live services contributing to sales and profits in a stable manner. No, you don't. No, you don't.
No.
Tao had also noted that during Sony's results presentation that live service games accounted for around 40% of first-party software revenue for the past quarter and cited this again in her reply.
Pylord brings up a good point.
For the gaming idiots here, live service games are games with a recurring monetary practice, or games that drip feed content into you over a successive period of time.
Yeah, you have to pay a monthly fee to play them. Not always,
I wouldn't
that's
say
one of them.
it's not necessarily the case because some of them
They're
will be
always
included.
on, if that makes sense.
Yeah, always online video games, let's say.
Yeah. That ones. They're always live.
Yeah, so games like Helldivers 2, they will have a story that's ongoing throughout it, as minimal as it is with that. There's always something new that they add every couple of weeks or a month or so, where it's a new push to defeat a certain kind of enemy or a different kind of enemy, or later down the line they'll add a new enemy class or new armor types or new weapon types. So they're always adding stuff into the game to refresh and balance it, whilst also make it somewhat interesting. Some do it better than others. I would say one of the better ones was Destiny 2.
Yeah.
Because they
They
were
were the,
always
like,
adding story content. They were always adding DLC. The expansions always increased, like added with the lore, but then they started taking away some of that lore because the game itself would have been too massive with in terms of download if they left all of it together. So they vaulted some stuff, which it's a bit weird.
Annoying.
Yeah, it was, because I went back and tried to play all of them. It was like, no, can't do it. Stupid thing. Where did I get to? Oh yeah, so it said about 40%. So, quote, for Q1 of the live service ratio was about 40%. For the full year, it's a little less than probably about 20 to 30%. So in terms of the transformation, it's not entirely going smoothly, but from a long-term perspective, if you look at the changes over 5 years, you see that there's definitely been a change. Yes, because you've released something called a live service game.
Yes.
We'll get into that in a minute. Let me just finish to the point, and then I'll raise a few. Of course, we recognise that there are still many issues, so we should learn from learn the lessons from mistakes, and make sure that we introduce live service content where there's less waste and it's more smooth. Okay, so Sony has seen numerous other roadblocks regarding its live service games. Beyond the more high-profile examples of Concord's closure and Marathon's delay. No, let's talk about Concord's closure, because it wasn't just a closure of Concord, it was a closure of an entire studio and $400 million sunk into it.
Yeah, that's insane.
And it lasted 10 to 14 days, depending on who you ask.
Yes.
The game was an unadulterated flop, and it was obvious to see it was going to be a flop from its beta, from its open beta that had nobody playing it.
Yeah. That was so bad. Bad news.
Idiots.
Yes.
And they think that live service is a good thing. No.
I mean, I said this before, I'm saying it again. Bungie is like the grandfather of live service games with Destiny. I know were others, there was a few out, but they took the model and they ran with it, and they were very good. But here we are all these years later, and Bungie is out of money.
Let me just...
Not sustainable.
I'm not going to stop you there. I'm not going to correct you. I'm just going to add an addendum to your point there.
Okay.
Destiny was probably the game that popularised it on the console front, let's say.
Right, okay. Okay, I can see that. I mean, I think it's weird. I don't know why they don't consider WoW a live service game.
It kind of is, I would say.
To me, it is, but people are like, no, it's not live service.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, if you wanted to give it, if you wanted to utilise that new term, then yes, it is. But it is more of an MMO. And always has been, let's say. So, I'm not...
Yes.
Cool. I think it probably falls more into the MMORPG than it does anything else. Because you wouldn't say Final Fantasy 14 is a live service game. You'd call it an MMORPG.
Although I would have thought of it as live service. But it's probably, not that much difference. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see what you mean. There are a lot of aspects that are similar, between the two, but I think I'm not quite sure what the distinguishing factor between the two of them is.
It's probably some technical issue.
Probably. So just to finish up the article, it says that in January it reported that Sony had cancelled a live service game at Bend Studios and Bluepoint Games. But it's also been reported that Fair Games, a live service multiplayer heist game from Haven Studios, has been internally delayed to 2026. That game isn't coming out, I don't think.
Yeah.
So let's just not say that it's down to a couple of notable games being a problem. I think it's the fact that they've jumped on live service far too late and have done it in probably the most shallow and vapid way possible.
People get tired of... The thing is, people, believe it or not, they do get tired of obvious greed.
Mm-hmm.
Obvious money grubbing.
Yep. This actually got mentioned in a really interesting video that I was watching earlier, where someone was talking about the fact that PlayStation are pretty much going third party publisher at this point.
Right.
There's probably a lot further there because they do fanboy content, which makes sense.
Oh, right. Yeah.
But they did raise the interesting point that actually, well, I think it's interesting, so that others might not, is that companies like Microsoft, PlayStation, all that, are not exactly, they're chasing after live service because they're not chasing after they're chasing after a certain business model that before used to be their bread and butter. Like, people would go to their platforms to play this kind of game. Right. Now they're chasing after every game, not just PlayStation. Call of Duty's doing it, Battlefield's doing it. They're chasing after Fortnite.
Yeah.
They're chasing after that $1 billion, multi-billion dollar enterprises, and nobody can get it right because Fortnite is just Fortnite and should just be left out there on its own to just do its own thing. It's a platform. Yeah. That's all it is. It's just, I don't know. It's just like dream matchup platform of shooty bang bang, pretty much.
Yeah.
Oh, I can go and play a round of Fortnite with someone playing Peter Griffin, the chicken, and loads of Star Wars characters. It's literally just a toy box, pretty much.
Well, that's the thing, and you have to ask yourself as a business person in a game studio or whatever, you're probably not going to create a Fortnite killer. Everybody tried to make a Halo killer. Everyone said, "Oh, this is going to be a Halo killer." Nothing ever killed Halo. Halo just had to fade from existence.
Yeah, Halo killed itself. It stuck. It put a sticky grenade on itself and floated itself all the way across the map.
It did. But
it rode the Banshee into the Halo ring.
Yeah.
You liking these Halo references?
I do. Just doing anything for you. Fortnite. That was it. You're not going to make a Fortnite killer. You're not going to. The timing was perfect. The infrastructure was perfect. The annoying guy, I can't remember, but the guy whose emails we read
Tim Sweeney.
That worked. Yeah. Wait, is it him? That's Epic?
Yep.
Okay. All he cares about is money, and he went and he pursued all of those licensing contracts.
Mm-hmm.
I know, because we read the emails. That's not going to be recreated. It's just not. And that's what they keep trying to do. Pete's right. That is what they're trying to do.
Call of Duty's doing it by adding things like Beavis and Butthead, Seth Rogen, Nicki Minaj, and all that. It's like, what the hell is this all about?
It starts to make me feel icky. I don't feel icky when Fortnite does it because it is ick. It's just a big pile of ick. So
that's why I don't really play it.
Yes. They can add Icky Minaj and it will be fine. But other games, I don't know. I didn't mind though. Well, not that Spider-Man's not really live service.
Not at all.
But I liked where they added you could either be Spider-Man from the movie or Spider-Man from the game. That kind of stuff is fine. Cosmetics, whatever. And that's probably where Sony should concentrate more is on DLC and cosmetics, not live service. You're not going to make a Fortnite killer. Fortnite will die on its own when it's ready. Just like Halo did.
Maybe.
Yes.
Yeah, go on. I know what he's talking about.
I love that joke. I do. Pollard says Fortnite and its Fantastic Four skins.
Yes.
That cracks me.
It's still brilliant. How stupid it is, it's still great.
Yes.
What was I going to say? Oh, that was it. Maybe Sony should actually focus on something that they haven't been doing for quite a long time.
Making money?
Make an actual game.
Yeah,
they've got one first-party game coming out this year, and it's Ghost of Yotei.
The thing is, I'm sitting here going, but we've seen this. It's a dearth of all of the consoles. There's no games.
Mm-hmm.
There's just no games.
And yet they want to increase the price of each console.
Yeah.
And there's nothing to play on them.
Nope.
No. Great fun. Anyway, the CFO went into a bit more detail about a certain other point. Has said So she has said that she expects Marathon to release by the end of March 2026. Oh, look, we want it out before fiscal year 25. So, as a result, I'm not going to go over that again. So, Sony execs were asked about the current state of marathons following the shooter's official delay. The caller has asked for an update on the management of Bungie, as well as what Sony should do in the worst case scenario if Marathon was to be cancelled outright. So Lin Tao responded by saying Marathon is planned to release within the current fiscal year, told ya, which ends on March 31st, 2026. Quote, first, about Marathon, how we factored it into the forecast, we expect the launch to happen within the fiscal year. But having said that, it's not a commitment. No official announcement has been given yet. She added, we are now doing modifications in development, and based on the progress in the autumn time frame, we believe we can communicate when we can launch Marathon either from Bungie or PlayStation. So they might. I think that actually does say something quite interesting. The whole marketing of the thing might be taken completely away from Bungie, and PlayStation might take full control of it.
Bungie sold their souls to the devil.
God damn it, Pylord. That is the oldest joke in the book, but still makes me laugh every time. Marathon will be released, but rebranded as Snickers.
Yeah, for the Americans in the audience who don't know this, and I didn't know this till I moved here, Snickers, one of my favorite chocolate bars, is called Marathon over here.
Well, used to be called Marathon until it got rebranded as Snickers.
Yeah. It's the same exact bar. It's a Snickers, and they call it Marathon.
Yep.
That's a weird thing.
Anyway, let's continue. With regards to Bungie, Tao reiterated that Sony's decision to take more control over the studio's management, with the eventual aim being to completely integrate it into PlayStation Studios.
Yeah.
Yeah, you called it.
I knew that was coming.
We knew it was happening. Quote, about the governance of Bungie, at the time of acquisition, we are offering a very independent environment, so that was one way of thinking. However, thereafter, we have gone through structural reform, as we announced last year, so this independence is getting lighter, and Bungie is shifting into a role which is becoming more part of PlayStation Studios, and integration is proceeding. So, in the long term, if you can see this as an ongoing process, the direction for Bungie is to become part of PlayStation Studios.
Yeah, told you.
Oh, of course. I mean, it was obvious, let's be honest. Like, they said, oh, we're going to give you full autonomy with fully independent. No, they were never going to do this. You wouldn't spend, what was it, $3 billion?
That was some insane. Yeah.
You wouldn't spend $3 billion on a game that was essentially bleeding money at that point, just to take over that IP. No, you took full control of this studio to integrate them into PlayStation to help with your live service push. That was it. We all knew it.
Yes.
And they were full of shite when they did it. And said, oh, we're going to be fully independent. We all knew it wasn't going to be the case. As for whether Marathon would be cancelled, Tao said that she currently doesn't expect this to happen, saying, quote, we are fixing the problems, so we believe this launch will happen. If this launch is cancelled, we'd need to do the revision of the valuation. However, as of now, this is not expected. The rest is basically just saying about Marathon's delay from September. So, anyway. So Nara said, boy, they should, in respects to they should just make a game. I feel we can't say that for PS5 now, they have Spider-Man and Ghost of Yotei and Sackboy and a lot more. They also had a lot more other franchises until they killed them off by destroying Japan studios and pretty much letting Bandai Namco pretty much release them. Such as like Everybody's Golf.
Yeah.
And Ape Escape.
Yeah.
That one's not being done by Bandai Namco, but my god, someone should make another Ape Escape.
Yes.
Team Asobi proved that you can make an Ape Escape game in Astrobot. It's quite viable.
Yep.
It's easily done. And then I also put, given all the incidences, they have to accept the PlayStation PlayStation takeover, 100%. Pylor said the comedian Arthur Smith once said, and this is not safe for work, I entered a marathon race once. Chocolate and peanuts are all over my ding dong.
Oh, I can't believe that.
I don't care. I censored it. Enough.
It's a Friday recording. That's how it goes on Friday diddly days.
And Nana put, the old CEO has been awful. That's before the anti-real stuff. Oh, God, yeah. That's what basically killed Marathon.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's essentially the news from this